welcome. I'd like to thank the Nassau County Medical Society for partnering with us. This is week 3 of our mindfulness series. And tonight I'm going to be talking about Tai Chi Easy, which is an example of 5 moves of Tai Chi. It includes mindfulness, meditation. So we'll be experiencing a couple different things. Tai Chi Easy is one of the many programs that we offer at our center that's both in person and virtual. So it's exciting. It's something that I was introduced to, I don't know, maybe about 5 years ago. I've loved Tai Chi my whole life and taken a number of Tai Chi programs, but never had the dedication to become a Tai Chi master. So this Tai Chi Easy is part of a national dissemination project. It's not a kind of Tai Chi, but it's an approach to Tai Chi that makes it easy, fun, and beneficial right away. And it comes from the Healer Within Foundation. So the results are based on intent and the presence of mind. So it goes right along with our whole mindfulness focus. There's not the big focus in this practice on the movement, although we try to do the movement as best we can, but we're not critical of the movement. We're more concerned about the intent and the breath work and being mindfulness in the moment with a smile on your face as you're doing this practice. So again, it's the presence of mind, the movement that applies the principles to achieve the outcomes that are so beneficial to reduce stress. So this Tai Chi Easy has a focus on our posture, our breath, movement, and most importantly, on mindfulness or awareness in the whole presence. So this was developed from the Healer Within Foundation. And again, it's a carefully developed method. It's designed to improve quality of life. So this type of Tai Chi people can do in a wheelchair, standing up, walking. It can be done many different ways. It's evidence-based, based on the data from Tai Chi and Qigong, which have been anecdotal data for thousands of years, and some real rigorous studies over the last number of years. And it works for any population. It's slow and careful movement, and it can also strengthen the body's own healing forces, support disease prevention, accelerate healing, and reduce stress. And I think, you know, the comment reduce stress is the big thing, because anytime we can reduce stress and induce relaxation, we can really help people heal. So the goal is to keep people practicing, learning, being inspired, and participating. This is done in a lot of different groups since COVID, more so virtually, but now a lot of the in-person groups are returning. So it's based on Tai Chi and Qigong. So Qigong is interpreted as life energy. Thousands of years old, many Qigong practices, a method and practice of self-healing with many different forms. Tai Chi comes from Qigong. So Qigong would be the mother of Tai Chi. That was the oldest practice. And Tai Chi is the source. It's one of many types of Qigong. And the beautiful Tai Chi that we see by Tai Chi masters and we see people doing in parks and throughout their life generally has 24, 36, or 42 movements, which are beautiful and very beneficial. My experience has been with my patient population and my New York area, we don't have that many people that will devote that time to developing the true Tai Chi form. So I'm sure you've heard of Qi. Qi is the vital energy that flows within the body. When it's spelled Qi, Chi means supreme or ultimate. So as we do this with patients, with practitioners, with the community, the focus is slow and easy. And also doing it wrong is better than not doing it at all. So many people will say, oh, I just can't do it, so I'm not going to bother, or I'm embarrassed because I can't get the moves right. So just to give you an example, I'm a Tai Chi Easy practice leader. I'm not a master. I'm not even an instructor. That takes way more practice. But the simple training that you can have to lead groups occurs in about 3 or 4 day trainings. And from that, you're meant to disseminate this. That's the purpose. The purpose is to have people in all walks, all communities, doing some type of Tai Chi every day, focused on the breathing, focused on the movement, the flexibility, and the balance. So this is considered of mind-body therapy according to the National Center for Complementary and Integrative Health. And it definitely supports health promotion. It's one of many integrative modalities. And we've seen favorable outcomes in studies involving cardiac rehab, pain management for arthritis, enhanced immune system, improved quality of life for coping with cancer. And especially when we work with women with breast cancer, it's a type of easy movement where you're actually moving the arms and you're not thinking, I don't want to move this because it hurts. So you're in the moment and you're moving as much as you can, whether it's this far or that far, but you're moving it. And it also helps with mood regulation. So lots of information about this on the NIH website. Many benefits when you look at traditional Tai Chi practice, and it stems from improved balance and coordination, because as you move, when you're doing the walking mode, you're shifting your weight from one side to the next. And you're putting so much weight on the one side that you can actually lift up the other leg and then move it. So this really helps with balance. It helps to relieve chronic pain, boost in mood, increase confidence, and that's coming from the Harvard Health Review. Other reported benefits are improving sleep quality, healing and preventing illness, lowering blood pressure, slowing bone loss, and it aids in weight loss. It increases energy, helps to balance the body and the mind, and provides a sense of peace, thereby, increasing quality of life, helping people have a sharper mind, improving CV fitness, and optimize the immune system. So many benefits are recorded in different studies. The main goal that we're focusing on is decreasing stress, anxiety, and depression. And we see that come across from many of our patient populations. So it's grounded in the principles of traditional Chinese medicine. When we talk about qi and we talk about energy in the body, the belief is that the energy flows up and down the acupuncture channels. And when energy is blocked, it results in pain, stress, and vice versa. Stress can block the energy in our channels. So in alignment with traditional Chinese medicine, the focus is on the person, not the disease. It integrates the whole body, mind, spirit. And it's part of many self-care practices. The importance of cultivating and refining your energy, that's really the basis for health improvement. So Qigong is really an energy cultivation. And we can cultivate energy in many ways, certainly through healthy living, through the way we breathe, the way we eat, the way we move. And this complements medical treatment. It's not meant to replace, any medications or any medical plan. It reduces stress and enhances the whole, body healing. And again, energy can be gathered from nature, the universe, through nearly 1,000 acupuncture energy gates. And again, based on traditional Chinese medicine, there's this yin and yang, the energy of the earth, the energy of the heavens. So as we go through 5 of the Tai Chi easy moves later on, I'll explain some of the purposes of the moves or the thought process behind it that really align with the yin and the yang and the traditional Chinese medicine. So when we talk about qi, energy, many cultures, feel the qi, they notice the energy. And in our Western medicine, we often believe that, energy stops at the skin level, where in other cultures, you can feel it. So for instance, if you take your hands and slowly move them close together, but don't touch, just move them close. And as you're doing this, you're breathing. Then you expand them a little bit. And then you move them back in. Sometimes you can feel a little bit of a sponginess, a little bit of the heat, a little bit of the energy, the qi that we generate. So in some of the Tai Chi easy moves, we're talking about holding the qi ball. Okay? It also involves breath practice. That helps to generate energy. Self-massage helps to stimulate the energy that may be stagnated in the body. And relaxation, meditation, mindfulness, that all helps again to generate qi. So again, these are all components of healthy living. So even though this is simple movement, can be done in a chair, can be done walking. We still talk to people that if you have, cardiac disease, heart failure, any issues that impede your movement, check with your healthcare provider before you start even something as simple as this. If you have balance problems, you may want to modify some of the steps. If you have recent surgery, again, we tell them, know your contraindications. If, again, someone has neurological issues and difficulty standing, you'd want to do a seated movement. And if they're on medications that make you lightheaded or dizzy with taking deep breaths, you want to know that too. And certainly if during the practice anyone has any issues, we tell them, call their provider, or you would call 911, which we certainly don't anticipate. So I mentioned that this Tai Chi Easy is not a type of Tai Chi. It's parts of Tai Chi, these 5 movements, but it also includes breath awareness, which we've done the last couple of weeks. The first week that we were together, I did a breath awareness with the hands on the belly, hands in the mid area, hands on the chest. We did a focused meditation on gratitude. I know Lisa did meditation and yoga with you last week. So we'll be covering 2 more different types today, as well as some self-massage. We'll do some tapping, and then we'll cover the 5 moves of Tai Chi. So let's start with breath awareness. And I realize that some people on this call are avid meditators, if there's such a word, and are comfortable sitting in a practice for 30 minutes or so. I'm really gearing this towards the people that haven't found a type of meditation that they like. And there's many different types out there. So this is one I call my New York meditation. I show it to a lot of our patients, and it's also meant for people that have challenges with meditating. So again, I ask you to get comfortable wherever you are. You can certainly sit. I'll be standing for most of today. And what I'll ask you to do is to hold your thumb. And you're going to hold it so lightly that you could almost feel the pulse in it. And then after a while, we'll be moving with each other finger. And we'll be lightly holding the finger, encircling the whole finger, having your hands comfortable on your lap. So again, before we start, have yourself seated in a chair. Elongate the spine, but don't be stiff. Take the shoulders up, around, and back to open them up. And then I invite you to hold your thumb. And hold it so lightly again that you can almost feel the pulse in it. And take 3 breaths while you're doing that. If you feel comfortable, close your eyes. Otherwise, stare at one point on the table or on the floor. And just take 3 breaths while you're holding that finger. Nothing forced. Just an awareness of the inhale and the exhale with your hands in a comfortable position. And then after 3 breaths, move on to the next finger. And lightly hold that finger. Notice the temperature. Notice the inhale, the exhale, and the pause. And just allow yourself to sink into the rhythm of your breath as you continue holding each finger one at a time, counting 3 breaths on each finger. Doing this at your own pace. Noticing that connection between the right and left side of your body. Counting 3 breaths. You can even trace the breath as you first inhale through the back of the throat, then down as far as you can, and then as you exhale. And if distracting thoughts come to mind, acknowledge them without judgment and just let them go with the breath. As you continue counting 3 breaths on each finger on one hand, and then moving to the other hand. Again, noticing the temperature of the finger, counting the 3 breaths, and sinking into the rhythm of your breath. And when you finish, you can place your hands comfortably in your lap. And just know that this is something you can do anytime you choose, by focusing on the breath, by gently holding the fingers, making that connection from the right side to the left side of your body, and just allowing yourself to be with the breath. Acknowledging distracting thoughts as they come in, not judging them, and letting them go. So you could take a deeper inhale and a sigh as you exhale. You can place your hands comfortably in your lap, and when you feel ready, you can open your eyes. And if there's any questions, you can place them in the chat, and Alexa can read them out to me. So I should say, I love this technique. This is a form of Jitsu, which is a type of energy work where they hold 2 acupuncture points simultaneously as they treat different conditions in the body. And by holding the fingers, you're connecting that right and left brain. It's a form of mindfulness because you're mindful of the touch. You're aware of the temperature. You're aware that you're holding it lightly. So it's a mindful hold. It's a mindful breath because you're aware of the inhale, the pause, and the exhale. But then the counting is not mindfulness. That's a form of distraction for the people that just can't sit because there's too many thoughts coming in their mind. So for a lot of patients, this works really well. For a lot of people, it works really well. If you do this for 5 to 10 minutes a day, after 21 days, it becomes a conditioned response. So the simple act of just holding the thumb can start to signal the body to relax. Maybe not completely, but take it down a notch or 2. And often that's just what we need in order to be able to respond instead of react. So it's a great technique, as is the simple breath. After people practice breath work, they can just take an inhale and a sigh, and that will signal them to relax. The hands on the belly that we did 2 weeks ago, for some people, that's their cue to relax. So just an attempt to give you different techniques that you may want to put into your self-care package. For patients that have challenges sleeping at night, some of them report great benefits from this because it's hard to think, it's hard to have the mind racing when you're feeling, when you're sensing, and when you're counting. It's a great form of distraction and helps some people fall asleep. So one type of breath awareness practice that's really one of my favorites that I'm happy to share with you. So let's talk a little bit about the self-massage that they report in this Tai Chi Easy. So I mentioned there's acupuncture channels. You know, the belief is that energy runs up and down the acupuncture channels. So one type of self-massage is simply tracing the energy channels. Another type is actually tapping it. And I'm sure many of you are familiar with different variations of tapping, from the EFT tapping, which is still tapping acupuncture points, to different tapping in the body. So I'll stop sharing my screen for a moment and we'll do a little bit of tapping, which is actually a great thing to do if you've been sitting all day, if you're exhausted, and if you need a little pick-me-up. So you don't have to punch hard, you don't have to hit hard. This is a gentle tapping, but we'll start with first tracing the energy channels. So we take an inhale, an exhale, And then as we inhale, we trace the channels over our head, down our back, over the sides of the legs, up the insides of the legs, and back up again. So again, simple movements, tracing the energy channels down, down the back, and breathing as you're doing this. Inhaling and exhaling, moving as far as is comfortable for you. And then we'll do the tapping. So we'll put one arm out and make a floppy fist with the other arm. And we just tap up the arm. Actually, this is the lung channel in Chinese medicine that we're tapping up. We tap over the shoulders and just notice. Often that feels so good. Often that's a spot of so much tension. Notice if anything's tight or tender or hurt, because it's not supposed to. Often that's a sign of stagnated energy. Let's tap up one more time. Come across, tap on the sternum. You've often heard of the thymus tap. In Chinese medicine, this is the CV channel, where again, we hold a lot of emotions. So that may or may not be tender. Let's do the other arm. And again, just notice. And down. Spend more time on the shoulder if you need it. There's no right or wrong way to do this. Except I should have prefaced it by if you have a pacemaker, defibrillator, or you're pregnant, don't tap on that area. Let's tap down the hips and all the way down the legs to the ankles. And then up the medial aspects. Those are stomach and spleen channels. And just notice what you're feeling, if anything. Tap lightly on the belly, hit the kidneys, and shake it out. And just stand for a moment or sit, whatever you're doing, and just notice if you feel the movement of any energy. And then let's tap the head. We'll start with tapping the karate chop, the side of the hand. You can do this about 8 or 10 times on each side. Then we're going to tap on the inner aspect of the eyebrows, the outer aspect of the eye, under the nose, which is a great wake-up point if you're sleepy, on the chin, on the clavicles. And then we're going to tap under the arms to get the lymphatics moving. And then let's do that again. So these are all acupuncture points. With the emotional freedom technique that's often used, there's statements that are said along with tapping these particular points. But you can tap your whole forehead now. There's many acupuncture points all over the forehead. Tap again at the end of the eyes. Tap on the cheekbones and 3 different points down. Those are all stomach points. Tap under the nose. Tap on the chin. Tap on the clavicles and then move it out to the end. And just tap on the chest. Tap under the arms. And then let's tap the whole head. Okay, especially the top of the head. And tap lightly, you don't have to tap hard. Tap the back of the neck lightly, again. Don't need to be tapping hard on the carotids, that's for sure. And then tap around your ear. That's the gallbladder channel. And again, just notice if anything's tender. And then just shake it out. Take an inhale and an exhale. And take another inhale and a sigh as you exhale. Let's do that 4 more times. Big release, you know, breathing in all the energy you need. And as you exhale, just letting go of challenges of the day, letting go of stresses, letting go of overcrowded schedules, just letting it go with the breath. So hopefully you feel a little bit of energy moving around with that. And notice the difference from where you were before to where we are right now. Many benefits just from doing some of these practices in Tai Chi Easy, just 10 minutes a day can offer a benefit to us, especially doing it a couple times a day, especially when the sitting is the new smoking and we're challenged with getting up and doing something every day. If you're somebody who has the type of a desk job or standing still. So another type of self-massage is really a form of reflexology. Now, reflexology is different than the acupuncture map, but you touch many acupuncture points as you would do hand reflexology. So this particular map comes from Kunz and Kunz, and you can download this online from them. And it's just an idea. The reason I'm showing this is because, again, reflexology, the belief is that when you press on certain parts of the hands, the feet, the ear, it's a mirror, it's a map of the body. And by using an alternating pressure, you can stimulate the energy to the organ reflex. So for instance, the fingers and the toes are the reflex areas for the head. The tip of the finger is the reflex area for the brain. And yes, this aligns with many acupuncture points when you do this, but it's not an acupuncture type massage. So when we do a self-massage with reflexology, we do what we call thumb walking. So you take your thumb, and I hate to say inchworm, but that's what it's like. Alternating pressure sliding across the thumb and then coming back. So you're pressing down. And it's interesting, if you go to China, if you have European reflexology, even in the United States, they often use a very deep pressure. Some people believe no pain, no gain. The years that I've been using it in the hospitals, especially with patients on chemo, patients in the bone marrow transplant area, I've used the light touch, and they've really benefited. You go up and down each finger, sort of pinching the finger, again, moving the energy in it. You also do the range of motion to each joint. You can even take your thumb and do circles around the joint. That's more of a massage technique, not particularly part of reflexology, but many ways to work the hands. When we work in between the fingers, this is called milking the webs. That's a form of stimulating the lymphatics. So many ways to do different types of self-massage. And these are, we spend a little more time on it when we're doing the Tai Chi Easy program, but just so that you know, holding your hand is a natural thing when people are stressed. Well, why not just go a little bit farther and really detail each finger of the palm, and then also on the back, just down on these little spaces in between the knuckles. And again, a light pressure. This is the breast and chest reflex here. You know, the heart is up here. So it's actually a map of the body. What's on the right hand is on the right side of the body. Left hand is left side. Same thing with the feet. That's another whole lecture. But just so you know, these are different ways that we can do some type of self-massage. The other type of self-massage they often talk about is the shoulder massage. But they have you hold your elbow, lift it up and down, and massage the shoulder. And most everybody needs that. So again, you notice where there's tightness, what's tender. And then whenever you do one side, you want to do the same thing to the other side. Okay, so that pretty much covers some of the different types of self-massage. And again, we tell people if they have medical issues that restrict their activity, you do the best you can. And it's all about self-assessment and noticing and being mindful in what you're doing and adapt and modify based on your needs, having a smile on the face, because this is supposed to be fun, not work. So as we get into the movement part of the Tai Chi Easy, we spend a lot of time on standing and 3 intentful corrections, because this is a mindful practice. So as we do the mindful practice, we either stand or we sit, and we stand or sit in alignment as if there's a pole going through the body. So we take the shoulders up around and open them up so the hands reach comfortably at the side. If you're sitting, you're elongating the spine. Usually say, take your hand and place it just a little above your head. So it's almost touching, but not quite. And then reach up to it and just feel that extra stretch. We're going to visualize a connection to the heavens being pulled up and rootedness in the earth, as if you're a tree with roots going down. So you're standing tall. There's often pictures of Tai Chi masters standing in what we call a Wu Chi position, and there's 5 people trying to push them off balance, and they can't because you're so grounded in your stance. So there's this upward lift and this downward pull. We usually take the pelvis and tilt it slightly forward. The knees are slightly bent. And we're in this open position, so the lymph and the blood can flow freely in the body. Nothing's constricted. Everything's open. Then we focus on the breath, realizing that our breath is such a powerful tool. Okay, that's the biggest tool for gathering the chi, and it's easy to practice. So you inhale slowly through the nose, but you can make it deep but relaxed. And then as we're doing this, focusing on our position, on our stance, our connection to above and below, our focus on the breath, we clear our mind. We let the mind be clear. We focus on something simple like nature, smile gently. When the mind is distracted, that scatters the chi. So again, if thoughts come, we acknowledge them, we smile, and we let them go with the breath. So those are our 3 intentions that we use as we do the different Tai Chi Easy moves. So this is what we talk about when we talk about Qigong power tools. We talk about the 3 intentful connections. So this is the combination of Qigong and Tai Chi Easy. So let's do a couple of these moves. We'll start with the flowing motion. Actually, you know what I'll do? I'll end this, I'll stop the share so that you can see me do this a little more. And then then after that, we'll go into the 5 moves of Tai Chi, and I'll just explain them. Okay. So again, if you've been standing still all this time, sort of shake it out a bit. We don't have to worry about the foot movements today. We're going to be focusing more on the breath, on being grounded, and being in an open position and moving the arms. So let's start with what we call going into our Wu Chi position. We shift our weight, I'll call this the table side, to the table side, and we take the other leg and we just put it out about a hip's width apart. And we stand and we notice the 4 corners of our feet. So you can rock forward a little bit, rock back, just move around a little bit from side to side. Gentle movements, nothing far, nothing forced. Just little movements back and forward. And then come to your center. Come to where you feel that you're in your center. If your legs are too far apart, move them in a little more. But feel this grounded stance as if you're a tree with roots going all the way into the ground. Let's take the shoulders up, around, and back. The knees are slightly bent, and we're going to tilt the pelvis slightly forward so the smaller the back is a little flattened out. And then as we inhale, we're going to gently raise our arms just up to our shoulders. As we exhale, we let them float down. Let's do this about 6 times. And again, notice. You're noticing, do it as slow or as fast as you want. Coordinate it with the breath, the inhale and the exhale. Nothing forced. They say, imagine the hands are floating through warm water. And then let's take the hands out and up and down. So again, we can slowly inhale and exhale. You can look up gently, nothing forced on the neck. And let's do it one more time. And then we can do just a little bit of stretching. Very simple. Again, you move to where you feel comfortable. Leaning the ear to one side, letting the arm hang down, and gently putting it over the arm over the side. Now, we're not going 100%. We said we go about 80% to what you can do. Just feeling the gentle stretch and breathing with it. Again, lowering it down, moving the head up. Same thing with the other side. Tilt to the side, lift the arm up, stretch over, and again, put it down. Okay, let's do that one more time on either side. Tilt the head, stretch the arm, put it down. Same thing. Tilt the head, stretch the arm, and put it. So you can see many of these moves are similar to what we would do in yoga, in generalized stretching. But again, it's the focus on the breath, the groundedness, and now shake out the legs that have been standing for about a minute or so in that position. Okay, and then let's get that position again with the feet flat on the floor. And we're going to go forward and backwards, and we're going to rock a little bit. If you need to, just hold on to a chair or a table. As you inhale, come up on the toes. As you exhale, rock back a little on the heels. And again, building our balance. And this can be relaxing, very slow, or this can be something to generate heat and energy. So let's take it a little faster. And then as you exhale, make a sound. And then just stand still. And feel how you generated some energy, generated some chi, had it moving around the body. So all of the Tai Chi moves are very slow and easy. When we bring the Qigong in, there's Qigong for generating energy, and there's some, fast breath work, some faster movements, again, to get the body moving. So with this bit of time that we have left, let's go over some of the 5 Tai Chi moves, and I'll explain them in a standing position. We're not going to do walking back and forth right now, but we start with our feet together. We shift our weight to the table side, lift the other leg, place it out, hips width apart. And as we do so, the arm comes over and we form what we call this ball of chi. Then the bottom hand floats up. The other hand comes around and forms the ball. And we do the same thing again. It floats up. The other hand comes around and holds the ball. This is called harmonizing yin and yang. Okay, yang being the heavens, yin being the earth. Some people align it to this is sunrise and sunset. As we're moving, we're inhaling and we're exhaling. The knees are slightly bent and we're turning from the hip. as we move the body from side to side. Again, keeping that Tai Chi pole, those 3 intentful connections that we had as we're moving forward. Up and back. And one more time. Now we're going to flip that energy ball. We're going to brush the knee and send the chi. So we lean back, we gather that chi, that energy, and we send it to everybody on this call. And then we form the ball again. We brush the knee and send the chi as we're turning and shifting our weight, forming the ball. We inhale, we exhale. We form the ball again. Let's do it one more time. Then we form cross hands. Then we're going to do what we call cutting a path to clarity. So we're stretching out, we're bending the elbows, and we're cutting a path to clarity. We're looking at the past, the future, and we're coming right to the present. So again, opening up, bending the elbows, bringing it forward. That's cutting a path to clarity. Okay. Now we're going to do cloud hands, which is actually a great eye exercise as well as calming and balancing. And we're going to watch this top hand as if it's a cloud just float by. And when we turn to the side, we're going to look in the distance and then switch hands. So look at your palm, look in the distance, switch hands, look at the palm, in the distance, switch hands, coordinate your breathing and your movement. The inhale and the exhale. And then again, we form tiger hands. Now we're going to gather strength from below and gather strength from and gather blessings from the heavens. So as comfortable as you are, you don't have to bend all the way over. You slightly bend the knees. You reach down and you gather up the energy, bring it up to the heart. You reach up and you take the energy and you bring it down. Okay, let's try it one more time. Of course, this always gets the animals moving around. You're going to bend down and gather the strength from the earth, feeling yourself rooted in the earth, bringing it up to the chest. Gather from the heavens above and just let those blessings flow over you. And one more time. Then you bring the legs together and you bow. And then shake it out. So just notice how you feel. Those were 5 simple moves we were doing in a standing position. We weren't doing it as we're walking back and forth and shifting everything. But even with those simple movements and focusing on the movement, the breath, aligning the thought process and the smile, that's enough to often help people relax and feel so much better. So let's just repeat this whole sequence one more time from the beginning and see how that feels, because I want to save time for an ending meditation. So again, we stand with our feet together, shift our weight to the table side, have our legs hips width apart. And now we do our 3 intentful corrections, right? The body's a pole, so we're elongated, the chest is open, knees are slightly bent, pelvis is tilted forward, shoulders up, around, and out. You could, if you want, put the tongue on the roof of your mouth. You're looking forward, not down, not up. You're looking forward, and there's a smile on your face. We shift our weight to the table, and we form the energy ball. Bottom horn floats up, and we're balancing yin and yang. We're inhaling softly And exhaling, the knees are slightly bent. We're shifting the weight as we turn, maintaining that Tai Chi pose we do. And one more time. Now we flip the ball. We brush the knee and send the chi and form the ball. Brush the knee, send the chi, and form the ball. Brush the knee, send the chi, form the ball. And one more time. Now we do our cutting our path to clarity. Look at all the work we have to do, everything that's in our day-to-day life, and cut through to what's important. All the red tape we're dealing with, all the busyness, and cutting through to clarity. Being mindful in this particular moment of our feet on the ground, our breathing, our movement, and the smile on the face. Now we do the cloud hands, watching the clouds just float by, looking in the distance. Noticing with amazement. Inhaling and exhaling as we're moving. And enjoying the moment. And we gather the strength from the earth, feeling that rootedness, all the strength, the solidity of Mother Earth, bringing it up to our hearts. And then gather blessings from above and just let them flow over us. Again, gather strength, bring it up. Gather the blessings and just let them float down. One more time. And then one more time, we follow our energy, bring our legs together. Just feel the difference. We do the Tai Chi bow with the fist in the hand. And that's the end of our movement practice. So let's just take a 5-minute simple meditation before we end our practice for today. You can do it standing, you can do it sitting. But again, let's just do this one where we're just mindful in the present moment, focusing on the breath. So get yourself comfortable. If you're standing, feel rooted. Notice the inhale and the exhale. And if you feel comfortable, close your eyes. Bringing your awareness to your breath. And as we do so, let's gently scan the body. And if any areas of the body need more relaxation, let's just send healing energy to that. So imagine that there's a wave of healing energy starting at the top of your head. And let it gently but powerfully flow over the body. Allow the forehead to relax. Soften your eyes. Loosen your jaw. And allow that wave of healing energy to flow over the neck, down your arms, and out through the fingertips. And as you exhale, let any tension from the upper body exit through the fingertips. And then let that healing energy flow over the chest. Let it surround and fill the heart. So with each beat of the heart, you're pumping healing energy to every cell in your body. Let that healing energy flow over the lungs so that with each breath, you breathe in exactly what your body needs. And each exhale, you let go of anything that doesn't serve you. Let go of tension, let go of stress. Let go of anything you don't need. You can even say your name as you breathe in and let go as you exhale. Allow that healing energy starting at the top of your head to now progress over the abdomen, nourishing all the organs in the abdomen, spending time anywhere that it's needed, balancing out any imbalances. And then take that relaxed feeling and wrap it around the back. Let your spinal column strengthen and lengthen as all the muscles and nerves off the back relax. If you're seated, allow yourself to sink into the support of the chair. If you're standing, feel your feet grounded into the earth and supported by that. As this healing energy starting at the top of your head now flows over your whole body, past the pelvic area, down the legs, past the knees, the ankles, and out through the bottom of the feet. Imagine a doorway in the bottom of the foot that's slightly opened. And as you exhale, let any last bit of tension or unwanted feelings just exit through the bottom of your feet. So at this point, that healing energy is flowing over the whole body, nourishing where you need nourishment, pulling out where you need to get rid of thoughts, feelings, tension, or pain. And gently scan your body now in your mind's eye. And if any areas need more attention, send the breath and the healing energy to that particular area. And know that this is something you can do anytime you choose. Again, by focusing on the breath, having the body in a comfortable position, imagining a wave of healing energy flowing over the whole body, pulling out whatever isn't needed. You can take your hands now and place them over your eyes. You can take a deeper inhale and a sigh as you exhale. Put a gentle smile on your face. And when you feel ready, you can move your hands and bring yourself back to the light of today. And namaste. So that's the end of our practice today. I wanted to save a couple of moments in case anyone had any questions. That was a review of 2 different types of meditations. We did some Tai Chi Easy, which was a mindful moving practice. Some people love it because they just can't sit, but as they focus on the breath with movement, they become more comfortable. So many opportunities to take this further. Certainly, if you have any questions, you can give us a call. We work with a lot of different patient groups to really help them incorporate this into their healing practice. Different types of mindfulness that we're exploring, as we mentioned the first week, have tremendous benefits in helping us be stable amid chaos and cope with stress and think more clearly and be creative. And my favorite is respond instead of react to everything that's going on around us and really choose how we want to react. So again, thank you. For any questions, you can certainly go to our website. Some of these meditations are on the website. I know this one is being recorded. And the best kind of Tai Chi Easy is the one you do. So hopefully you can take some pieces of this back to your life. We'll be starting our next 4-week Tai Chi series in June, on June 8th at 8:30 in the morning. So again, see what fits into your plan. Have a great night. And I'll take any questions that are in the chat.
Hi, there are no questions in the chat. I just wanted to ask one of my own. I noticed that there was a lot of attention to breath through all 3 exercises that we did tonight. Can you speak a little bit about why the breath is so important?
You know, it's interesting because when we run, we breathe faster, right? When we're anxious, we usually hyperventilate. You know, if you're thinking, oh, I have to pick my kids up, and you're stuck in traffic and it's raining and you know the bus is dropping them off at a corner, you can almost hyperventilate in the car. So when we change the breath, We can affect the mind and we can affect the body.
Mm-hmm.
A simple breath of a longer exhale helps to induce the relaxation response. It helps to stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system. So the breath can be an anchor. If it's something that we, do in a conditioned way where we practice certain types of breathing every day, then we can call on it when we need it. Just like some people can be nervous once they start thinking about their breathing. If you've ever been short of breath, and you're like, oh my God, I'm not breathing right, and you think and you think. So, the mind body has a deep connection with the breath.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. If there are any other questions, you can drop them in the chat or in the Q&A box. It doesn't look like we have any further questions right now, but thank you so much for sharing
You're welcome.
your knowledge and your email with us, just in case anyone else has anything they want to ask. This was really lovely. Thank you so much.
Okay. Have a great night.